Hello, partners, customers, and all fans of technology trends. It's your old pal and host of the Akamai Channel Champions podcast, Nick Watkins. Now, today, we are going to talk about drawing lines in the digital sand. We are talking about Akamai Guardicore Segmentation, or AGS for short. But you might be asking yourself, why are we dedicating an entire episode of this for you, our partners? And the reason is simple, because your customers are under siege. We are in a critical, once-in-a-lifetime type of time right now, and that's because of what we're seeing with Frontier LLMs and the exploits that those can create. Now, as our partners, you hold the keys to our customers' defense. And why is this important? Well, just look at the headlines we've seen recently. We've already seen massive, lateral movement-driven ransomware attacks that completely paralyze major telecom providers like Brightspeed and compromise millions of users in the global Canvas LMS breach. Threat actors are moving faster than ever, with cybersecurity reports saying that the fastest ransomware attacks are now exfiltrating data in a terrifying 72 minutes. Ransomware accounted for nearly half, 44% of all global data breaches. The old security paradigm of protecting the perimeter is officially broken. And once attackers breach the network, they can move freely, escalate their attacks, cause maximum damage. Your customers can't just build higher walls when an attacker can tunnel right underneath them. And so this is exactly why you need to lead with Akamai Guardicore Segmentation. It's the internal failsafe that shrinks the attack surface, limits the blast radius, and helps organizations contain ransomware up to 21.4% faster than average. To help you capitalize on this massive revenue opportunity, I've brought together a dream team, a brain trust of Akamai thought leaders to break down the why, the how, and the what of micro-segmentation. Joining me today is an absolute powerhouse panel. First, we have Jacob Abrams, product marketing leader for Akamai Guardicore Segmentation. We also have Adam Mittler, our VP of Global Services, and Shivangi Sahu, Global Channel Marketing and author of our brand new Akamai Guardicore Segmentation Partner Playbook. All right, now, Jacob, let's start with you and set the stage with the why. Now, the threat landscape is moving at light speed. We're hearing about massive AI adoption and advanced frontier LLMs like Claude Mythos. Why is segmentation the hero we need right now?
Thanks so much for that, Nick. You really set the stage very well with the introduction. It's because the traditional concept of a physically defined network perimeter is basically gone. We're in 2026 now, and a lot of the ways that we used to think about security was in protecting the perimeter, and this is expressed through a lot of the big security purchases that are occurring in the market right now. People are spending still a lot of money on firewalls. People are still spending a lot of money on exposure or endpoint detection and response solutions, and these are all very, very important. But if you're putting all of your eggs into the perimeter security basket, you're missing a huge area of risk, right? In 2026, our ideal customer is operating a highly complex IT environment, right? They've got a whole mix of on-premises servers, cloud deployments, usually multiple cloud deployments. They have devices operating. And now we're seeing that they're starting to deploy AI training clusters, inference services that are introducing these high-value assets, sensitive data sets, and crucially, an immense amount of east-west traffic occurring within the network. And this is the critical mindset shift that partners need to be driving home with their clients right now. With Frontier LLMs, it's not a matter of if you're going to get breached anymore. It's a matter of when. This is a very bold statement, but these frontier models possess advanced reasoning and multi-step planning capabilities. They can autonomously discover unknown vulnerabilities, they can chain exploits together, and they're doing this in a matter of minutes. It's moving at machine speed, and human patching cycles physically cannot keep up with this. So there is a real risk to the enterprise right now that is creating an immense opportunity for cybersecurity solutions, especially those solutions that do not focus only on prevention. Prevention alone is no longer a viable baseline. Since a perimeter breach is now essentially a guarantee, you need some technology in your stack that can contain the potential blast radius. We believe that one of the best solutions in the market for that is a micro-segmentation solution. And at Akamai, we happen to have a market-leading solution, Akamai Guardicore Segmentation.
Absolutely. It's such an eye-opening reality check. I mean, if an internal breach is guaranteed, focusing on containing lateral movement makes perfect sense. I mean, it's this assume breach mentality that we really want to help our partners understand and really help bring that message to customers as well. And so I think a lot of our partners, they still encounter objections and things they'll hear of like, hey, we already have an expensive EDR solution, so we are covered. How do you respond when you hear things like that?
So, again, EDR is crucial. No one is saying get rid of EDR. Firewalls are crucial. No one is saying get rid of firewalls. But the best approach here to really think about this is like an office building sort of analogy, right? Imagine your network as a high security office building with a whole bunch of floors and everything. Your EDR solution is the security guard sitting at the front desk in the lobby, which is great and necessary. Their job is to check the IDs that are coming in and to stop those intruders at the front door. But if an attacker finds a way past them, and now with the threat of, with what Frontier LLM models are posing, it's not an if, it's a when an attacker finds a way around them, the lobby guard can't stop that person from moving freely around the building. It's as if there's no card key access to get into the different floors and get into the different rooms. Akamai Guardicore Segmentation is that card key access. We are representing almost these interior, think of that like steel vault doors and badge access points that you can dynamically drop into different segments of your office building to confine an intruder where they stand, ensure they cannot pivot from the lobby to the high value vault, and ensure that you've contained what could have been a crippling breach. EDR is a guard, but Akamai Guardicore Segmentation is true containment. And in today's day and age, you simply cannot operate safely without some sort of interior containment technology.
Dude, absolutely 100% spot on. I mean, as a guy who looks smart but actually isn't that smart, a simple analogy is always so helpful for someone like me. But I mean, look, it's for partners like lobby guard versus vault doors. Like that's a brilliant distinction. That is something very easy that you can repeat to customers. And now, Jacob, I'm curious though, you've also noted that we have to fight fire with fire. And I know a lot of companies are saying, we use AI to fight AI, but I'm kind of curious is how does Akamai Guardicore Segmentation use AI to actively secure those high throughput environments?
That is a great point that you bring up, Nick. And this actually really rings true to a lot of what we're doing at Akamai right now. Not only encouraging responsible use of AI, but making sure that we are emphasizing defensive AI for the purpose of neutralizing offensive AI. And that's what I'm talking about when we say fight fire with fire. If you're going up against a threat that's moving at machine speed, you too need to be able to move at machine speed. Now, Akamai's recently updated our Akamai Guardicore Segmentation product to integrate some of this more advanced AI functionality. And what we're trying to do really is fully automate zero trust policy enforcement. Traditional micro-segmentation relies on usually a static snapshot of the network that's taken maybe once or twice every 24 hours, right? Static flows, manual IP mapping. This all is very, very slow. And it introduces a lot of guesswork and a lot of assumptions. And the chance of something breaking whenever the network changes remains very high. This is actually historically one of the biggest barriers to micro-segmentation. But the built-in AI inside Akamai Guardicore Segmentation is continuously ingesting signals from your network, as well as from your extended technology stack, to reason on exposure and context. An asset can have 100,000 potential vulnerabilities. How many of those vulnerabilities are actually exploitable? How many of those connections can actually be abused? And this is what our AI has been trained to do. It's pinpointing those connections, pinpointing those areas of risk that are most likely to be exploited. And this is what's driving what we're calling our exposure analysis and response capabilities. These capabilities, many of them have already existed in the product for some time, are enabling security teams to instantly see where the holes are, understand which rules they need to enforce first, and then execute that remediation from within the product itself from a single unified console. Automating enforcement at machine speed really is probably going to be the only way to safeguard critical pipelines and stay ahead of automated threat cycles posed by these advanced LLM models.
I love that. It's machine speed enforcement. That is what is going to take. That is what it is going to take to stop modern lateral movement. Jacob, thank you so much. Adam, I want to pivot over to you to talk a little bit about the how. Now, our partners love the technology. It's in high demand, but they want to know, how is owning this deployment model? How does it expand their business and recursive footprint? So talk to us a little bit about the massive rollout we had back in May.
I'd love to, Nick. Our core strategy in ESG is to remain a world-class security software vendor. Because microsegmentation requires expertise to deploy, we explicitly empower our partners to own the lifecycle services. Building upon our GCSP implementation track as of May 1st, we officially launched a new partner-delivered model for Tier 1 and Tier 2 support services for Akamai Guardicore services. We have decoupled our product SKUs from our support packages. Moving forward, Guardicore Certified Services Partner GCSP support can attach their own branded channel support packages directly on top of standard product SKUs instead of routing customers to Akamai direct support.
I love that. I mean, it's outstanding. Partners can build a highly predictable recurring revenue stream by directly owning that support relationship. But let's keep it real. I mean, is GCSP support track just a rubber stamp certification, or what's involved in that?
No, not at all, Nick. It is a highly rigorous curriculum by design. The track consists of a 10-module e-learning program coupled with a live capture the flag labs. In the CTF environment, engineers are dropped into a dedicated Akamai lab to perform task-based real-world troubleshooting. They must achieve a strict minimum score of 95% of the practical lab questions, followed by a final live technical interview verified by Akamai experts. It takes roughly a week of solid commitment, but it ensures your team is elite.
Dang, 95% pass rate? I mean, I'm just thinking back to college. I don't know that I would have gotten out if I had to have a 95% pass rate. So that level of assuredness and rigor that goes into qualifying partners to pass that tells me that the folks that we have that basically had that certification are the real deal, the real McCoy. They're the people who know this product inside and out. 95% pass rate plus a technical review means a partner's engineering team becomes a premier tier force in the market. And so as a result, I think the end user gets a local single point of contact closer to their language and culture. But Adam, I'm curious, what about customers who are feeling high levels of anxiety over these Frontier LLM threats, but are nervous about microsegmentation breaking up their business logic? How can partners break that deadlock quickly?
That is exactly where a partner-led proof of concept, POC, is an absolute game changer, Nick. Partners have the capability to request a partner-led POC for Akamai Guardicore Segmentation directly through the marketplace. For a customer frozen by AI anxiety, a partner-led POC allows you to quickly deploy Akamai in an isolated chunk of their environment. In real time, you can show them a live visual map of their traffic flows and demonstrate exactly how simple it is to build zero-trust boundaries without disrupting business processes. It completely strips away the fear of the unknown, visualizes the immediate threat radius, and positions the partner as the trusted advisor ready to execute the full deployment.
Partner-led POCs are the ultimate deal accelerators. Elite engineers, recurring revenue, and happier end users. That, to me, spells win, win, and win. Yep. All right, Adam, thank you very much. Shivangi, bring us home with the what. Now, you authored the Akamai Guardicore Segmentation Partner Playbook. What is this resource, and why should every partner listening download it today?
Thanks, Nick. The playbook is designed to help partners uncover customer pain points, differentiate Akamai from the competition, and identify the use cases to win more opportunities. If you're wondering who to call, you need to target the executive buyers, the CISOs, the CTOs, the CIOs. They actually hold the budget and are focused on high impact risk and compliance complexities.
And where are these buyers living? I mean, what vertical markets are the hungriest for this tech right now?
The short answer is any vertical with network infrastructure should be hungry for this technology. The verticals with the highest propensity to buy are manufacturing, healthcare, and financial services. Manufacturing is getting hammered by uptime extortion, whereas healthcare is trying to protect their vulnerable medical IoT devices. And financial services is racing to secure massive AI data pipelines. Now, they all have one thing in common. They can't rely on perimeter security anymore. And they urgently need to stop lateral movement to prevent that single breach from taking down the whole business.
I love that. You know, I know our partners well, and I could hear some veteran sellers who might chirp up and say, you know, Shivangi, this is great, but I don't have time to read a whole playbook. And it's one of the best playbooks I've ever read. It is very comprehensive on the subject of microsegmentation. But I understand you recently built a 3-page quick reference guide for them. So what are the absolute heaviest hitting metrics they should be using in their pitch today?
Nick, the biggest objection we hear is that microsegmentation takes too long, and our partners absolutely do not have that kind of time to reach that, to read that big playbook. So this reference guide actually is going to help them with the key stats that they really want to talk to their customers to. And, and our partners need to tell their customers that we deploy in days and not quarters. In fact, the customers have deployed across 40,000 workloads in under 90 days. While others are stuck in planning, our AI-powered approach begins to protect their network from day zero.
Oh, 40,000 workloads in 90 days? That is wild. But what about the financials?
I would say partners should lead with confidence, knowing that Akamai Guardicore Segmentation delivers a 152% ROI, which is verified by Forrester, and that too under 6 months.
152% ROI with a 6-month payback. You drop that in any meeting with a CFO and you automatically have the room's attention. But what if a customer says, I'm not worried about ransomware, I have insurance?
That is a perfect pivot. Cyber insurance is a massive driver for microsegmentation these days. We recently surveyed 1,200 global leaders, and 75% report that insurers now assess segmentation as a part of their underwriting process. Even better, 60% of the surveyed organizations say that they have received premium reductions as a direct result of improved segmentation. So it just does not secure your network. It literally saves your money.
Absolutely. What a perfect wrap up. Jacob, Adam, Shivangi, thank you guys so much. As our partners listening, I want you to think about this. Since the Mythos and Anthropic and all the news that had come out at the beginning of the year, we here at Akamai are seeing more opportunities for Akamai Guardicore segmentation. People who previously had said that, hey, budgets are locked up, maybe we'll look at this next quarter, are now suddenly finding the budget to do that. So if you take nothing else from this podcast episode, lead with Akamai Guardicore segmentation. We have built tremendous resources, including the Akamai Guardicore Segmentation Partner Playbook, the Quick Reference Guide. We also have on our partner portal the Akamai Guardicore Segmentation Partner Solution Showcase, as well as a Frontier LLM sales kit designed specifically to help you defend against machine speed exploits. Now, to all of our partners watching and listening, the opportunity here is massive AI adoption, rapid cloud migrations, and sprawling hybrid environments are aggressively expanding the enterprise attack surface, and your customers desperately need a containment solution that actually works and delivers quantifiable value. Now, keep in mind that while Frontier LLMs are a massive business driver right now, there are a multitude of core buyer motivations for adding microsegmentation. Those include things like regulatory compliance mandates, strict cyber insurance underwriting processes, and specialized insurance isolation all impact executive buying decisions. So to help you successfully pitch all these different business drivers, again, I highly encourage you to check out the partner portal and check out the resources, as well as Jacob's recent webinar appearances from earlier this year. There are 3 heavy-hitting technical sessions available on Bright Talk right now that talk about everything from HIPAA and compliance to machine speed deployments. Now, to arm your sales teams with the conversations ahead, simply head over to the Akamai Partner Portal to grab those pieces. And with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Akamai Channel Champions podcast. Thank you.